morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Rogula. It is Thursday, April 16th, and I'm so glad you've tuned in to watch our Circle Time video today. Yesterday was Wednesday, and hopefully you saw Mrs. Friedman and her Circle Time video. And tomorrow will be, who could tell me, Friday, and we're going to do a live Zoom on our computer, so we'll all be together then. Let's get started with a new song I have for you, and I'm going to use the music that is by Nancy Kottman, and this is kind of like our Follow Me song, but there's words and music to it, and you just have to follow what I'm doing. Listen in. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody stomp your feet, stomp your feet, stomp your feet. Everybody stomp your feet, stomp your feet, stomp your feet. Everybody stomp your feet, stomp your feet, stomp your feet. Everybody stomp your feet, stomp your feet, stomp your feet. Everybody go peek-a-boo. Make a silly face. Peek-a-boo. Everybody go peek-a-boo. Everybody go peek-a-boo. Everybody go side to side. Everybody go side to side. Everybody go side to side. Everybody goes side to side. Everybody go 1, 2, 3. Woo! Go 1, 2, 3. Woo! 1, 2, 3. Go 1, 2, 3. Woo! And clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Thank you, boys and girls. And Lucy gets very excited when I clap my hands, so she wants to join us in the fun. I wanted to say good morning to everyone. So listen for your name, and you can say good morning back to me. Good morning, NJ. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Kieran. Good morning, Sam D. Good morning, Madeline. Good morning, Henry. Good morning, Elle. Good morning, Savannah. Good morning, Annabelle. Good morning, Sam M. Good morning, Kellen. Good morning, Bear. Good morning, Theo. Good morning, Petey. Good morning, Isabel. And good morning, Braxton. Can you all say good morning back to me? Who said Mrs. Pizza? Let's try it again. I think I heard a nice good morning, Mr. Rogula, that time. Good morning, everybody. Okay, today, boys and girls, we're going to talk about shapes some more, but not the traditional shapes that we've been talking about this week, like squares and circles and triangles and rectangles. I'm going to talk more about shapes that we just see in everyday things, like clouds, sometimes we see shapes in, or spills. So the story I'm going to read right now is about when something spills, and maybe you could see a shape in that, like it looks like spilt milk. And I have some felt story pieces that go with it. So here is our first splash of spilt milk. Sometimes it looked like spilt milk, but it wasn't spilt milk. Sometimes it looks like a what does that look like? A rabbit, but it wasn't a rabbit. Sometimes it looked like a bird, but it wasn't a bird. Sometimes it looked like a, what do you think that looks like? A tree, but it wasn't a tree. Sometimes it looked like a... Can anyone guess what that is? That one's a little trickier. Maybe an ice cream cone? But it wasn't an ice cream cone. Sometimes it looked like a... Does anyone know what that looks like? A pig? But it wasn't a pig. Sometimes it looked like a... This one's tricky. Can anyone guess what that looks like? Birthday cake. But it wasn't a birthday cake. Sometimes it looked like a... Anyone guess what that's supposed to be? A sheep. But it wasn't a sheep. Sometimes it looked like... What does that look like? A mitten. But it wasn't a mitten. Sometimes it looked like... What's that? I see a lot of these in my yard right now. A squirrel. But it wasn't a squirrel. Sometimes it looked like... What could that be? An angel. But it wasn't an angel. Sometimes it just looked like spilt milk. But it wasn't spilt milk. It was a cloud in the sky. Do you ever see images in clouds in the sky? Have you ever gone outside? And sometimes you can see maybe the shape of a dog or a cat in the clouds. That's an activity you can do if you have a nice day outside and those big fluffy clouds are in the air. That's the best time to lay on the grass on a blanket and look up at the sky and see what kind of shapes you can find in the clouds. We're going to do some more shape activities in just a minute. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to do a little science experiment. This is called magic milk, and all I need is some milk, some food coloring, some cotton swabs, and a little bit of dish soap, which I bet you all have at your house. Let me show you. Okay, these are my supplies, my food coloring, my dish soap, my milk. I put a little bit of milk in the plate, and now I'm going to add a drop. Just kind of scatter some drops. And I'm going to use some different colors. Let's see what color this is. Ooh, that came out fast. Okay, maybe a little red. Now I'm going to take, I have a little thing of dish soap, and I'm going to dip my cotton swab in it, and I'm going to start putting it right in the dots. Watch what happens. Whoa! Whoa! Look at that. Watch how it keeps moving even after I'm done touching it. What do you think is happening here? And can you see any shapes in these colors? being formed? I'd love to hear what you think is going on. See, and then it kind of stops to do it. Isn't that beautiful? And every time you do it, it's a little bit different depending on the colors that you use. But look, it's still moving and it's still forming some shapes. What do you see in there? Do you see a face? Do you maybe see a planet? Or a butterfly? Or maybe a ladybug? It's still moving. So what's really happening is the soap, because we know soap cleans things, right? When I put the soap in there, it's scattering around and it's trying to clean up the milk. It's trying to grab onto, milk has some fat in it, so it's trying to grab onto that fat to clean it. And that's how it grabs onto molecules on your hands and dirt and cleans up the dirt. That's why it's so important to use soap and water to wash your hands. But this is a fun experiment to do. It kind of looks like another galaxy, doesn't it? To see different shapes, to see things moving, and to see the different colors that it creates. Maybe you can give this a try at home. I'd love to hear about it. Here's another picture of it now that it's done moving around. And make sure you ask your parents or a grown-up for help with this experiment if you decide to try it at home. Okay, I have an art project for you to try if you have some of the materials at home. And this is creating our own cloud art. So we're gonna kind of make clouds and then see what kind of pictures we can see in them. So all you need for the cloud art is a piece of paper, some preferably white paint, but you could use any color of paint. And that's pretty much it. And maybe a spoon to drop it on. Let me show you. So I have my piece of paper. I put it on a tray just so I don't make a mess. I have a little bit of white paint in a bowl, and I have folded my piece of paper in half. And I'm just gonna plop some white paint kind of along the middle of my paper. It doesn't really matter how you do it. We'll see what happens. And then I'm going to fold the paper. Oh, yep, and see the paint squishing out? I'm gonna squish the paint. And then we're going to unfold it. Gonna need 2 hands for this. Whoa! What did that turn into? Here is my cloud. And what does that look like to you? I think I see a flower pot, like a pot. And then here's the flower. That's one thing I see. What else do you see? Maybe, could this be a dog ear? Are these the dog ears? And the dog head? And the dog body? Or it also kind of looks like a skeleton, doesn't it? This is the spine. So many different pictures you can see in your cloud. Let's do one more. Because every time you do this, it turns out a little bit. We're going to do one more, and every time you do it, it could turn out a little different. You don't have to have white paint. I'm going to put some kind of further over and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to fold it. Now we're going to open it up. Ooh, what did we get there? Look at this cloud. I turn it around. I think I see, do you see a butterfly? I might see a butterfly. Or I might see a tulip or a rose coming out. So you can decide what you see in your cloud pictures. If you try this at home, I'd love to see what your cloud pictures turned out like. You can bring them to our Zoom tomorrow and show them to us at the Zoom.
Okay, you don't have to do it. It's just a fun idea. If you have time to try, make sure you ask a grown-up to help you. Have fun! The story we're going to read today is called Little Cloud by Eric Carle. I didn't have a copy of this book at home, so I found it on YouTube. It's on a great site called School Kids with a Z TV. And if you're looking for other books to read aloud, you can go to this YouTube channel, and they have lots of great books that I think you would enjoy. But I'm going to show you this book, and I'll be the one doing the reading. I hope you enjoy it. Little Cloud by Eric Carle. The clouds drifted slowly across the sky. Little Cloud trailed behind. The clouds pushed upward and away. Little Cloud pushed downward and touched the tops of the houses and the trees. The clouds moved out of sight. Little Cloud changed into one giant cloud. Little Cloud changed into a sheep. Sheep and clouds sometimes look alike. Little Cloud changed into an airplane. Little Cloud often saw airplanes flying through the clouds. Little Cloud changed into a shark. Little Cloud once saw a shark through the waves of the ocean. Little Cloud changed into two trees. Little Cloud liked the way trees never moved and stayed in one place. Little Cloud changed into a rabbit. Little Cloud loved to watch rabbits dash across the meadow. Little Cloud changed into a hut because Little Cloud changed into a clown and needed a hat. The other clouds drifted back. They huddled close together. Little Cloud, they called, come back. Little Cloud drifted toward the clouds. Here he goes, back up to the clouds. Then all the clouds changed into one big cloud, and it rained. The end. I hope you liked that story about clouds and more about seeing the different shapes they can take. And I'd love to hear what shapes you see in the clouds sometime when you go outside and look at the clouds up in the sky. We can see shapes everywhere. Last thing I have for you today is the guessing box, and our person to do the guessing box for today, his name begins with a T. Whose name begins with a T? T can make a t sound, but sometimes when there's an H next to it, it makes a th sound. And that person today is Theo. So Theo, you get to do the guessing box tomorrow on our Zoom. Find an object in your house that starts with the letter T. Come up with 3 clues so you can give us some hints, and we'll try to guess what that object is, and then you can show it to us. We can't wait, so you'll get to join Kellen and Braxton and Annabelle and Sam D, and then Theo all get to do the guessing box tomorrow during our Zoom. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. I hope you have fun finding shapes in other areas of nature or in your house, and maybe you'll get to try some of the experiments or art projects. I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.